We got caught smoking a joint outside of a club. We ran away. I had ketamine on me because I was selling it at the time. Like, I'm a completely different person now, obviously. And they were patting everyone down. They were going to let us go. I tried to flick it out of my pocket, and that was the first night I got arrested then. So I got, I went to jail in Scottsdale. I was there for a day or two. And then I never went to court because I moved addresses. And obviously I knew I was supposed to go to court.
Yeah.
And that's when I had the first warrant out for my arrest. So in 2010, I got arrested for a drug charge.
Hey, so welcome back to the podcast. I want to welcome Corey Upton. Corey, you're the owner of Upton Fitness. Man, it's an honor to have you.
Thank you, man. Excited to be here. Thankful for the opportunity.
Dude, I'm impressed by your physique.
Thank you.
I'm like fat and out of shape, and you're all this big muscular dude. I'm kind of jealous.
Hey, I don't think you're out of shape, but I'll train you.
that we may have to do that because for some reason I just can't train myself. I need a little motivation, a little kick in the butt. Right?
I got you.
So you own Upton Fitness. You have any kids?
No kids, not yet.
You plan on having kids?
Plan to, yeah.
Okay, Upton Fitness, and so where are you guys out of?
We're out of Scottsdale, so I don't have my own gym yet, but
Okay.
we have two private gyms that we train out of. One's in North Scottsdale, Glory Gains, and the other one's in South Scottsdale, Independence Gym.
So you go out there and you build up your clientele, and then you go kind of use their gym type thing.
Yeah, so we're private contractors, and then I've built a small team, so we have a couple trainers underneath of us, and yeah, we're just growing as we go.
I love it. I love it. So are you from Arizona?
I'm from Southern Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana.
Yeah.
So Indiana, and then you moved to Arizona about 2009.
Yep, 2009.
What brought you here?
I had a friend that was going to school at ASU. So, I mean, it was a completely different world when I moved out here. I'm from like a little small country town and just came out here, the whole scene on the West Coast, girls partying. And I liked the fitness scene because I was bodybuilding. So I think I was out here for maybe a couple weeks and I was 19, that's all it took. I moved back home, packed everything up, quit my job and decided to move out here.
So you were bodybuilding at 19?
I actually started at 17.
Nice.
Yeah, I got into it really early.
That's crazy. That's cool though. I mean, it's better to get in early, stress those muscles. And
Definitely.
all that, right? It's hard to do it later.
Yeah.
So you're bodybuilding, you're in the fitness world. You're like, this is live. West Coast, Arizona, California, you can bounce back and forth, do whatever you
Definitely.
want. So did you move on your own?
Yeah, I moved on my own. And I always wanted to go to California, but I ended up here and it was fun, but it kind of chewed me up and spit me out. I started hanging out with the wrong people, getting into the wrong party scene, getting into drugs. And I think I went broke probably within 8 or 9 months here.
Here in Arizona?
Yeah, here in Arizona.
But you never made it to California?
No, never made it to California. I've been
Thank
here.
God.
Yeah, it might have been even worse,
The
right?
cost of living's higher.
Yeah.
You'd have been really broke. So you come to Arizona, you're working out, you're like, hey, I want to live this better life, bigger town, bigger city, more opportunity, probably more, like you said, more parties, more girls. But it led you to drugs. Partying, what does that look like for you?
Well, it started out, I was just kind of hanging out at ASU, just getting into a little bit of the party scene. I was still, at the time when I first moved here, I didn't have a job, so I had no responsibility. So I was just going out with friends, going to different parties here and there, and kind of got into a little bit of the rave scene, which is not too bad, but if you do, too much of it, it's going to kind of suck you in. And if you're not working, it can just tear you down.
So this is, so that's like early 2010-ish. So what are you, 20, 21 now? Or?
I turned 20 going into 2010, yeah.
Yeah, so you're 20, you're partying, you hit that rave scene. Were you at Tempe, Scottsdale?
Yeah, Tempe, Scottsdale
ASU,
area.
Yeah, ASU. And then there's a lot of drugs in that rave scene.
Yeah. And I mean, those are all not horrible, but I started working at the W in Scottsdale and I started being a bar back. Well, let's kind of backtrack. So when I was at home, I got prescribed Percocets for back pain when I was trying to come up in bodybuilding. and I kind of got hooked on them.
As a young adult, like 18, 19, 17, somewhere in there?
17 and 18. And it's really bad, like controlled substances like painkillers, Xanax, all that, you know, Opinons, anything like that in my town. Like there's been so many friends that have gotten hooked on drugs back home. It's horrible. So I kind of got off of those. But then when I got back out here and started working security, somebody started offering them to me. So I started doing them, you know, Friday night, Saturday night, just to take them to get through the night. And then I got really hooked on opioids for about 2.5 years.
So when you say opioids, can you break that down? What does that consist of?
Opioid is a painkiller, so you can do Oxycontin, oxycodone, like anything like that. But it's really synthetic heroin. So when people get hooked on these and they can't afford them anymore, that's usually when they'll go to heroin.
Yeah.
And I wasn't at that point yet, but I mean, if it would have went a little longer, it could have went down that path.
Yeah, but these things get you. I mean, I've done pills too, and it's like you're out of your mind. That's why you're taking it, because it takes you somewhere else. It's either down or up or whatever it looks like, and you're kind of out of your mind. You're spending more money than ever, not paying attention to nothing, right?
Yep. I mean, it's the devil. Like once you start taking those, you could take one and within 3 seconds have the high, and it sucks you in so fast. It's insane.
That's crazy. You know, because looking at you, I would never think like this guy was hooked on painkillers.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody ever thinks like that I've had a bad past, or, you know, they see me doing well now and they don't think that, you know, I've went through a lot. But I think everybody that's successful now has struggled and went through their own, you know, trials and stuff, you know.
When you look back at, you know, like those couple of years, you know, what do you think of, you know, looking back now? Like, what are those, like, where does it take you? What place does it take you to when you think about that stuff?
I mean, it was definitely a dark time. I was lost. Like I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was hopeless. You know, I didn't have any plans for my future, but I look back and I'm super proud of, I mean, how far I've come now. But I mean, there was definitely some rough times getting through it, you know.
But somebody had a big plan for you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think God takes us through all these, you know, struggles and adversity just to kind of mold us and, you know, just to make us who we are. There's
a scripture, Jeremiah 29:11. I don't know if you know that one. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's scripture. And so you're jacked up, and your parents are still in Indiana.
Yeah, I was here all by myself.
Did they even know? Like, were you hiding all this from everybody except people that were around you?
Yeah, I mean, I held it from them, or I was hiding it from them for the most part. But I think when I'd go home and visit, sometimes they get a little bit of a drift that something was off.
Yeah, you're kind of like a little disengaged.
Yeah,
because you're getting high over there too.
Definitely. Or if I didn't have it, you know, I was always tired and sleeping. So I think they knew something was off. And then I started spending all my money. So they're like, "What are you spending your money on?"
Yeah, it's not that much fun over there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still the desert, guys. No, man, yeah, that's tough because I mean, I have a background in drugs, heavy drugs. Right. Back then, you know, they were heavy. It's different. The drugs today are completely different. One drug will kill you, one little pill.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand, like, what you're saying is takes you to that. Anything that I tell people, anything that would take you out of your right state of mind that makes you incoherent, it's just bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're capable of doing. You don't know what you're doing, who you're doing if you're at a party.
Yeah.
You don't know, like, anything what's like, you're just out of it. You're loopy. You're you know, you could be taking advantage of someone or someone taking advantage of you, however that looks.
Yep.
Committing crimes, doing stupid stuff, you know, creating baggage that'll go with you for a bit, for a few years. You know what I mean? Going through that stuff, did you create any kind of, like, say, mess up your credit, or, you know, hurt people, or, you know, just whatever, even if it's just mentally, did you do all those things?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely on a spiral downhill. I mean, for one, I didn't even have credit at that time. I didn't even have a credit card, you know. I was
thank God.
Yeah, thank God I didn't. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And I mean, I definitely had hurt people, relationships at the time. And what else were you saying with it? Sorry.
Just like if you hurt people, or just because there's those, like, we don't think about, like, the effects that the stuff we do, that we've done when we're doing it.
Yeah.
Especially these young kids, you don't think about the effects it causes, that'll cause in 10 years, you know, You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm sure you weren't thinking about all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I would always think I was coherent and I was going to be the DD. I mean, there was times where I was taking.
So you're high and you're the DD?
Yeah, I would snort like painkillers and Coke in a line and say, cause I'm not drinking tonight, I'll be the DD. And then we got caught smoking a joint. I've said this story before. We got caught smoking a joint outside of a club. We ran away. I had ketamine on me because I was selling it at the time. Like, I'm a completely different person now, obviously. And they were patting everyone down. They were going to let us go. I tried to flick it out of my pocket, and that was the first night I got arrested then. So I got, I went to jail in Scottsdale. I was there for a day or two. And then I never went to court because I moved addresses. And obviously I knew I was supposed to go to court. Yeah. And that's when I had the first warrant out for my arrest. So 2010, I got arrested for a drug charge. But,
so you had the joint, they used it as possession.
Well, I had all the ketamine on me because I was selling it.
So that was the red flag.
Yeah, they were gonna let us go with the joint.
Yeah, and you're trying to
Yep. And then by the grace of God, we got the felony dropped, and I was able to just do unsupervised probation for like 2 years, and then that's what really made me start cleaning my act up.
Yeah. How scary was that?
Oh, it was horrible.
Right.
I mean, my dad was in prison most of my life, most of my childhood, so I was literally thinking I was gonna like fall in his footsteps.
Yeah, you were headed that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God. So you missed that, and like when did you start turning your life around?
I would say right after that. So that was 2010 going into 2011. So I hadn't bodybuilded for probably a year and a half or so. So I started working more. I was just doing security at the time and doing ballet at the W. Like, kind of hated it, but no matter what, I've always been a hard worker. So, whether I was delivering pizza, bagging groceries, like I've started from the bottom. So that's when I started turning my life around, and I got really serious into bodybuilding going into 2011. But at that time, I was still using painkillers. So in 2011, 2012, I was still trying to compete while I was on them. So that took a while. And then I really hit rock bottom probably 2011 because I couldn't even get up and finish any of my food, finish any of my meals without getting my fix. So
Are you serious?
Yeah. So that's when I ended up checking myself into rehab. I believe it was 2012.
So 2012, you checked yourself into rehab locally?
Yeah, it was in Mesa, like Community Bridges, I believe.
Was that like an outpatient thing, or did you guys like live there? Or
yeah, they had both, but it was an outpatient thing, and then we had to go in every weekly for classes and do your analysis just to make sure you were clean.
That's. I mean, kudos to you for doing that. I mean,
yeah,
dude, how many people that should do it and don't do it?
Mm-hmm.
We know a guy that just overdosed.
Really?
Yeah, I have a nephew that died like 2 weeks ago from fentanyl. I haven't seen him in like 15 years.
I feel like that's the thing everyone's overdosing on now.
The fentanyl. It's one pill. It's that's why I said, thank God, because I did all the drugs. I mean, if you put it down, I was doing it.
Yeah.
However it was. But thank God there was no fentanyl back then.
Yeah, I know. Because, I mean, I would have done the same thing.
You would have been dead.
We
would both be dead.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because the people who are doing fentanyl, they're going to die eventually.
Yeah, 100%.
If you keep doing the fentanyl, you're going to die.
Yeah, and I've had cousins at home that have overdosed. Like, thank God, like, they haven't passed away. But, I mean, it's really bad back home.
Yeah. And so it's like you got to make a decision. Dude, I read something this morning, and this is how bad it is. One of the cartels, I forgot which cartel it is. The one that's El Chapo's cartel, whatever. They just put out, there was an article saying they're literally telling everyone either in their cartel or close in that area, whatever, to quit selling fentanyl and quit bringing it over. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's how bad it is because they know it's destroying people.
Yeah, it's killing everyone.
So from what the article said is that they're literally, if just say like these low level drug dealers over there in Mexico or whatever trying to push things through, they're literally kidnapping them and killing them.
Oh my God.
Now I don't know if it's like let us keep the whole territory and it's a rouge type thing.
Yeah.
But it almost sounds like they're like, shoot, we are screwing this up.
It's getting bad. I wouldn't doubt
and it puts the heat on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like if you studied the old mobsters and stuff, they didn't like to sell drugs. because it brought heat.
Yeah, they didn't want any heat on them.
They wanted to steal and do like money transactions.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And they didn't want the heat. And so that's probably what's happening is it's bringing a lot of heat. Now, you know, and if it's coming from Mexico, eventually we're going to start shutting it down and shutting them down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Somebody is. Hopefully, God willing. So you start making changes and, you know, you're growing, you're learning, you're bodybuilding. At this point, have you done any competitions and like successful, healthy? You got cleaned up. You're into rehab. Mm-hmm. You're going through the classes, drug test. How long did that rehab last?
It lasted about, I'd say, 1.5 years. So I did compete earlier on. I think I told you I was in the teen class, like 2007, 2008. I did one show in 2010 before I kind of like fell off. Mm-hmm. And then I got back going in 2012. So I'd say from the whole year of 2012 going into 2013, I was kind of like coming off of the opioids. You know, they would give you medication to come off, taking my classes. And then 2012, that's the year that I started really getting everything back together. And then 2013, I made really big changes. I put on a ton of muscle. And I lost the Mr. Arizona by 1 point that summer. And that made a big statement. And the rest is history. I just kind of started climbing up the ladder before I went pro from there.
So at that point, that's kind of when you really gained confidence.
Definitely. I was cutting back the party in, and then I didn't know where I stood, you know, like trying to be Mr. Arizona was always my goal. If I was big enough, if I had the physique, and, you know, I damn near won the show. I was going against my friend Eddie, and it was a battle, man. I lost by 1 point. So.
Damn it, Eddie.
Yeah,
ruined it, bro.
I wonder what he's up to.
Eddie, we got to bring him on. That's good, though. I mean, dude, that's like, I could never do it. Yeah, I don't have, you know, I just could never do it. Mm-hmm. I did know, I have a friend, he's still a friend, he's in his 40s, but his name is Jabbar, short dude, but he won a few competitions. Mm-hmm. Dude was swole.
Yeah.
He's like 5'2" or 5'3".
Oh, so he's short and stocky.
Oh, dude, he was swole.
A little tank.
Yeah. Yeah, he was big. He was like right now, he weighs like 165 or 170. He was probably like 210. He was big.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's all over the internet if you look him up.
Let's check him out.
So you go through, like, how long do you do the bodybuilding? Do you still do it now?
No, I say semi-retired in 2017. So I really went all the way from 2007 to 2017. Wow. You do like local shows as qualifiers. So you want to win your local show, you qualify for nationals, and this happens all around the nation. And then you go to nationals and you compete against people from all over the U.S. So I started in 2016. I went to Vegas. That's like the biggest national show, USA's. I got 4th my first year. Went to Miami that year, got 4th. So I was top 4 in the country for classic physique. And we had a huge class, like 40 to 45 guys. And then finally they made a taller category for me because I'm over 6'1", I'm 6'3". And then I won in 2017. And then I finally went pro after being in the game for like 10 years.
That's cool.
But I never made a pro debut. I kind of did it for 10 or 11 years. Had some health stuff come up. I mean, bodybuilding's rough on your body.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah. I mean, it teaches you, it built my career. It taught me a lot of discipline and how to make those sacrifices to be a good business owner. But if you don't take a break and do it right, it was rough on your body.
Yeah, I noticed, some of the big names, you know, they just get, what's that, the big black dude?
Ronnie Coleman.
Dude, that's the poster child.
Yeah.
He is jacked up, like physically jacked up.
Yeah, I think he pushed it too hard for all those years. Because if you look, I've looked up to Ronnie Coleman since I was a kid.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. I used to literally sit there and eat my meals and just watch him eat his meals for hours. Like, that's how obsessed I was with bodybuilding.
Hey, that's if you're gonna learn, you're gonna learn from the best.
I was like, I'm gonna watch him do everything. And then, you know, Jay Cutler, the white guy that he always went against with the blonde hair. So if you just look at how Jay trained and how Ronnie trained, like, Jay was a lot smarter about it. He wasn't always trying to max out and push himself to the limit. He was kind of being a little safer. And now Jay looks great and healthy, and Ronnie's had all these surgeries. He's been hooked on painkillers. He's had back surgeries, hip surgeries. He's a mess.
Every time I see his interviews and stuff, he can't even walk.
I know, it's super sad.
I know. I'm like, holy Jesus! Like, maybe I don't even know if is he walking today. Like, can he walk?
I think he can a little bit, but sometimes he has to have like a cane or the cane.
Yeah, the little cane things.
Yeah, and he's not that old, you know.
No,
he's maybe 50 or something.
Yeah, he's probably 50s. Mid 50s. Or how old is he? You can Antonio, like you can literally see. That's the like. I would never, you know, I'm old. I turned 43 last week, but so I'll never become a bodybuilder. But I don't think like it's grueling.
Yeah.
But like you said, is if you can do it right, pace yourself.
Yes.
Ronnie wanted to be the greatest of all time. In order to do it, you have to like sacrifice everything.
Yeah. And there's a way to sacrifice it and still do it safe. So I think like Chris Bumstead, he's like the king of classic physique, the Canadian in my class. Like he's doing it safe. He's getting his blood work done probably every month. You know, he's taking care of his body. He's being careful. He'll probably be able to retire by the time he's my age. I mean, I'm 34. I think he's 29, maybe coming up on 30. So that would be the way to do it.
Wow. Yeah. It's I think like well, like Arnold didn't have all those problems. Why didn't he? Because the chemicals were different back then, or what is it?
I think they just kept pushing the limits and getting bigger and bigger, and now it's just like a complete freak show. And then he did have a little bit of issues where he pushed. I mean, he had a heart surgery and stuff, but I think it's just a completely different playing field now.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Like they're like, he was big last year. I want to be bigger, so I got to do whatever it takes to get bigger.
Yeah, I wish that's why they made the classic physique class, because it has like the old school Arnold look, but you still have the open class where it's like a complete freak show. And I think they're like pushing it to the limit almost too much, but that's what sells the tickets.
Yeah, because some of them are dying and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Heart attacks.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's because I mean, you've been in the world, and I don't want to bash the world, but is it like it could be semi unsafe if you're not doing it right?
Yeah, it definitely can be. And I have a lot of clients still that compete, like men or women. And, you know, at some point there's going to be everyone you're going against is going to take some. How old does he say he is? 59. Okay. So, yeah. But he's still not that old.
No, he's jacked up though. He's jacked up.
Yeah. So everybody's going to take some type of performance enhancing stuff to be on stage, but there's a safe way to do it. So I'll try to coach my athletes the right way to do it, coming on, coming off, and just seeing a doctor just to get your blood work done. Yeah. That's the way you have to do it.
Yeah, that way you know you're staying safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when they abuse it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anything else. You can abuse soda and gain 50 pounds.
It's not going to be good.
Right? So I know I was just watching them. I was like, man, because I grew up. I mean, like I said, I still paid attention to these guys, the bodybuilders and stuff. And he was one of them that when I was young, he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was right below Arnold and all those guys. He was like two tiers below them in age group or something. Mm-hmm. So now you're in the world. Your fitness, bodybuilding's kind of over. I mean, you practice it, or do you?
I don't practice like posing or anything anymore, but I still have clients that do. Like,
do you train them how to pose?
Who?
Their clients, you train them how to pose?
Yeah. I'll teach some of the guys, or if I feel like I'm not the right fit for like the different classes, I have other friends that can teach the posing, and then the females, I'll usually recommend a female friend for the posing too.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's a little bit different. There's different muscles and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. But I'll do all the training, write the programs. I have an app, and then do the nutrition part.
So you have your own app, or what app do you use?
It's trainerized, so it's like white labeled, but you can upload all your own workout videos in there. They check in with their progress pictures, their nutrition. So if you're on top of it, it's pretty good.
So do they buy that? Like, do you get paid for that app, or?
Yeah, so I have some clients that are in person for one-on-one or group training, and they'll train with me or one of my team members. And then I have the online training app for people that are in state and don't train with us. You can be out of state, out of the country, and I'll put your workouts in every 4 weeks, design a program. So like when I first started training, it was just my passion for bodybuilding. I just wanted to help people get in shape and help them bodybuild. And now that I've grown the business, there's been other routes we've taken. You know, I do the nutrition for everyone. You know, if you have I'm not a professional nutritionist, but if you need a vegan plan, I can do that. If you want a paleo plan, I can do that. And then we write online programs. You know, if you have a home gym, we write programs for that. And then I even have my main trainer underneath me, Karen, she's a stretch therapist. So if you need stretching done, we can do that too.
Oh yeah, that's good, dude. I got so I did something on my back. I think I like some bulging discs. Mm-hmm. So I went and got MRIs, and then I started going to like a sports medicine chiropractor type place. It's more stretching.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to work on my core right now because it just was. They gave me the second time I got my shots in my like epidural shots. Mm-hmm. Because it just freaking hurts, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a big difference staying on top of that stuff.
Yeah, getting the core right. So I never even knew, like, when I heard core before, you know, when I was younger, I worked out a little bit and stuff like that, kind of stayed a little fit. But, you know, when I always heard core, I was like abs. Mm-hmm. But learning now, like, core is like your pelvis and like all kind, like.
Yep, there's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh my God. And that's what I'm learning how to do is like learning how to like turn my feet in, because when your feet's out, like your pelvis is in, and my pelvis is in, my back is not positioned, and so I'm having issues on my back.
Oh yeah, and I mean, we're not getting any younger, so if your back's already hurt now, your hips hurting now, your posture can be off. I mean, just think if you didn't fix it by the time you were 70 or even 60, your back would be rounded and you'd be in terrible pain.
That's why I'm trying to work on it now, because it's like, and it kind of all just, I knew I had bad posture, but I didn't realize until the pain started happening, like how bad it is.
Yep.
Because I'm twisting, turning, stretching, all this stuff, and getting shots, and it's still hurting. I'm like, oh my God. And then I've like now, because the pain's there.
Yep.
And so if I slouch too much, if I sit a certain way, like I feel it. Mm-hmm. And I told my wife, I go, this ain't never going away. And now I'm going to work on my posture and try to minimize the impact.
Yeah.
But the whatever damage is done is here. It's here to stay. So now it's up to me to minimize and not make it worse as fast.
Yeah. And even like if you're my girlfriend's a fitness professional too. So we've been dealing with this chronic pain. She's 32 and she was almost like crying with this pain in her neck and her back and migraine. So we found out that her neck is straight. So something over time took away the curvage in her spine. So now we're having to figure out, like, pinpoint what we can do, these exercises, get her adjusted every week just to like help the pain go away.
Does she walk forward?
She walks more forward. Yeah.
That's
so now
why.
we're trying to push it back.
Yeah. Because your neck goes like, that should have that curve.
Yeah.
When you're forward, it goes this way.
Yep. So it's bad. We're trying to fix it. So it can happen to anyone, even if you.
I'm just learning all this stuff. That's why I know.
Yeah. And I'm learning a lot of it too as we go. So.
Dude, did they tell you how when your head, the more forward it is, the more weight it puts on your body?
Oh yeah. I mean, your head is like a bowling ball that's probably like 15 pounds. So think if you hold it and it's going out the wrong way all day for 10 years, think how much strain that puts on your spine.
But so if I looked up the doctor had showed me this, I'm going to say it wrong, but I'm going to like kind of exaggerate it, but say it's 15 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. And every like centimeter or whatever it's forward, it's like another 15 pounds on top of it.
Yep.
Like it gets from like 15 to like 50 to 80, like the pressure, and it just jacks like your girlfriend.
Yeah. So just think how much pain that could put you in, or how much it can be off.
Dude, it's crazy. And a lot of us, like people don't have good posture. Good, you know, it's all posture. Her neck, my back.
Oh yeah,
all of it. It's posture.
And some people don't know any better, and they just think they have to live with it, or they'll start taking the leave, and then they'll go down a route like us and get into some painkillers or something, and then they're hooked and
just to mask it,
to numb it for a couple hours, and then they're a drug addict. And that's the other thing I was gonna say. I feel like drug addicts get a bad rep, and people look at them as a nasty or a dirty person, and I mean, it can happen to anyone. I mean, there's doctors that get hooked on painkillers. There could be someone like my girlfriend, if she was in pain. It can be a very successful person from a good family, and then they just went down a wrong route. So, you know, I try to never judge a book by the cover, because you don't know what anyone's been through. Yeah,
no, it's true. And especially if you're in pain, because I've been in pain, and I'm sure she's in pain, because if anything with the back, it just sucks.
Yep.
And you want to take anything
to do anything
to mask the pain, because you're hurting.
Yeah.
And so it's easy, like you said, it's easy to just start taking more pills. You know, and it's more convenient. Instead of going to the doctor or getting stretched out or a chiropractor, whatever it is, you know, once a week or twice a week, you'd rather just take the pills and just go about your merry way.
Yeah.
go to work or whatever it is. You know, that's the easy route.
Yeah, like who wouldn't do that? I mean, I wasn't in that bad of pain. I used it as an excuse when I was a teenager, but my back was hurting from deadlifting, and it made it go away. And then I could take them and still eat and go lift, and then I got hooked on them.
And you got to feel a little lightheaded, a little woozy sometimes.
It's kind of nice sometimes.
Get out of the real world.
Yeah.
Man, hopefully she gets that fixed.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're staying on it.
Yeah. So what are you guys going to like a specialist, or you're just kind of doing more natural stuff, different things, techniques that you guys have learned, you know, through research, or?
Just a chiropractor. So Dr. Marcus, he's been working on me for about 3 years. He's in North Scottsdale. And I started calling and texting him. I'm like, something is off. Like, this is not normal how she's feeling, you know. And she had been feeling like this the past few years. So we found out she has scoliosis too, which you can work around that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's one problem. But then he started checking out her neck, and then that's where we're at right now.
Now, is he a traditional chiropractor?
Yeah.
Like stretch,
you? He does that. He does dry needling too. Mm-hmm. So it really helps when you have like, you know, sharp pain in certain areas. It kind of releases the tension there.
Cupping, does he do cupping?
He doesn't do cupping, but my massage therapist does. He said he's not against it. He just doesn't know like how well it works. It does, but yeah. I think it helps a lot. Have you done it before, the cupping?
No, but the company I go to does it, but I haven't got it done yet.
Yeah, so if you have an area that's like locked up or muscle bellies, like it kind of brings all the toxins like out of that area, and then it kind of just helps relieve the tension. So I think like the Chinese have been doing this for like hundreds of years.
Yeah, all these therapy, the needles, all that stuff.
Yeah, so they were way ahead of us.
So does he have any kind of stretching machines or anything like that, or is it more traditional?
He has some basic stuff, but it's more traditional. Like he does your hips, your neck, your back, and then he'll kind of put you on like heat and stem and ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he is a massage therapist too.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So going back to you, you're training, you're eating good, you're learning, you're growing. How does business look for you?
Is it the beginning or just coming up?
Just in general, yeah, coming up and where you're at now. I mean, how does this look?
So at the beginning, it went pretty good. I mean, people knew I was bodybuilding, and I told you like it was my passion. Like I just wanted to be a trainer. So from 2012 to the beginning of 2014, I had my own business, like an LLC. I was young though, you know, I was trying to build a business, and then it started going downhill. I was at a little hole in the wall gym, PT by Joe in Old Town. So I always thank Joe for being like my first place, you know, to start my business. Yep. And then I had a client, Rick. He was business partners with Bahram, who's the CEO of Lifetime Fitness. You're familiar with Lifetime, right? Mm-hmm. So they bought all this land together, and he's like, hey, if you want to get on as a trainer here, you get a salary, you get insurance. It just seemed like the safer route to go. So 2014, I started at Lifetime in North Scottsdale. I became one of the top trainers for about 3 years. I stayed way too long. So they're taking about 40% of your money. So then I start realizing, like, what am I doing here? So I ended up leaving December 2017. And then this is where it comes into one of the roughest years of my life. So the summer of 2018 is when we got in the non-compete lawsuit. So
hold on. So I'm writing this down real quick. Mm-hmm. So 2014 to 2017, you're at Lifetime Fitness. 2018, you got in a non-compete lawsuit. Who are you competing against?
With Lifetime.
They sued you?
Oh, man. So I left, and everybody seen me doing good within a couple months, and I had 4 or 5 coworkers that followed me to glory. That's like one of the gyms I'm at, North Scottsdale now, and we took a lot of their business. So they got super pissed. They start figuring out where we're all at, and then one by one, they start coming and serving us with packets. You know, this is a non-compete. You have to, it's temporary restraining order. You can't train in the gym for 9 months. It was 4.6 miles away, and you couldn't be within 5 miles of the gym. So if it would have been 0.5 more miles, we would have been safe.
So you signed an agreement when you started training with them?
Yeah, they never enforced it though. Like there was so many people that left that gym to go to another one. I would have been fine if I was by myself.
You're the poster child, bro.
Yeah, and everyone followed me.
So you're getting sued. Do they send you like a cease and desist, kind of stop doing this type thing?
Yep, they were saying 9 months, we couldn't be there anymore, and then we had to come up with a settlement. So, I mean, We do okay, man, but we're just a bunch of trainers building our business. We had to hire an expensive attorney, and it's $1 billion company. Like it's messed up what they did to us. They're like, we can go all day. Like how long do you want to go for? Like we spent more money on attorneys than the actual lawsuit. So altogether we settled for about $110K, I believe. So we all had to split it. So, we just had to start making payments, and then we couldn't go back to that gym for 9 months. It was stressful, man.
Which gym?
Glory Gains, the one in North Scottsdale.
Because it was in the area.
Yeah. So I had to pick up and move all the way to Old Town,
So let me ask you something. So even if you would have moved at that time, you were still going to get sued because you were already in breach.
Yeah, it already happened.
Yeah, you already breached contract.
They already decided what they wanted to do.
And so, dude, they were nice to you. 110 grand.
Yeah, no, right. It could have been worse, but then again, it's like, why do you want to like pick on a couple of trainers? Dude, we're just trying to live our life, man.
Yeah, it's not like you're getting rich. I mean, you're not building gyms everywhere.
I know. It's like we didn't have our own gyms. We're all renting from a gym to work out of, just trying to survive. So
how did that feel? You're getting sued by like one of the, well, they're surely like the best, but they're not the biggest, but they're big boys.
They're one of the biggest gyms
they're big boys
in the country,
How did that feel?
Was
that scary?
It was very scary. I mean, I've never had a lawsuit in my life, and I was just starting to build my brand up.
You're like, let's go, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and I was like, well, what is happening right now?
And you're all posting videos and everything.
Yeah.
And you get served.
I thought I was hot shit, and the next thing you know, boom, I'm being sued.
That's crazy.
And you start getting those feelings like, why is this happening to me? Like, am I being punished, God? Like, what did I do? But everything happens, for you, not to you.
That's
like
right.
This was all part of the plan,
Dude, I love you say that everything happens for you, not to you.
Yep. And I always think about that. So once I got through that, I could pretty much get through anything. I mean, that was one of the hardest. Well, besides coming, from being an addict and going to rehab,
that's hard, dude. I mean, dude, you're getting whacked by like you said, the guys who own are billionaires.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, little scrubs. I'm not calling you a scrub, but that's how they're looking at you.
Yep.
And they're just like, let's just pick on them. They think they're badass.
Yep.
So, like, what'd you learn from that?
Just trying to think what the best thing I learned from that is. Probably just to, not think you're being punished, and just to, keep moving forward. You're going to get knocked down, and you just got to be ready for it, you know? It taught me to be a lot smarter about what I'm doing, too. Like moving forward, like looking at other gyms in the future, like try to make sure you're not going to get set up for, basically just look at legal documents that I'm signing when I start my business.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, like negotiate the contract, because I think we go through this. We have a decent sized company, and we do, we've probably done over 1,000 projects, so 1,000 contracts. You can negotiate those. Some stuff they'll be like, hey, you can't touch this.
Yep.
Certain things you can. So that's what you want. Like you said is, or if you don't know, get a lawyer. Because you signed the wrong thing and you're screwed.
Yep.
Didn't even know you got the best intentions and everything, and the wrong. I've done it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like.
So I was a lot careful moving forward with legal agreements, and then if anybody else in the industry wanted to leave a company, I could pass on that information to them and help them out too.
Oh, from there? Yeah, because they're the poster boy. They're like, hey, Corey, what do we do here?
If I want to leave here, what do I do?
Show me your contract, bro. What's line 5 say? You're screwed, bro. Sorry.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You know what? Go 20 miles. Go to Queen Creek.
Please.
Yeah. If there is a way, you find a way.
Yep.
If there's not, then you're in trouble.
Yep. You got to find a way around it.
And that happens a lot. You see like a lot of non-compete clauses, especially when people get bought out. You got to kind of, you'll see an owner sit out for 4, 5, 6 years, and then next he's back in the industry because he's got to wait it out. You know what I mean? He can't, he'll get sued the heck out of, just sold the company, made 20 million or 50 or 100 million, whatever it is, $1 billion, and you got to sit it out, you know? So, but like for you, like you said, is you guys are just growing. You didn't even know any better. You're just like, I just want to work out, train some people, make some money, and make a living.
Another thing it taught me is just to be fair to my employees and try to pay them right to keep them around. Because a lot of these other personal training companies, they have a horrible turnover because they're paying them, $20 or $25 a session. So I've always tried to be fair with my pay for my trainers just to keep them around. And Karen she's one of my best friends. She's worked for me. She's been with me for probably almost 3 years, and
awesome.
She's just my ace. And, I just try to make it where we can all eat and just be a good business owner or boss, I guess.
That was so like when you set up this structure for pay for your team and future trainers, do you have the same structure for everyone, or is it kind of negotiated depending on who it is, what clientele they have?
Yeah, usually off of what clientele they bring in and how many clients they like sign up. We kind of go from there with it. Or if you're just starting out, then it'll be a little bit lower till you sign up, X amount of clients.
Yeah. So you got you're training everyone now. You're signing up trainers, and they're all under Upton Fitness, right? Is that what it is?
Yep.
So they're carrying the brand.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, I eventually want to get my own gym. That's the ultimate goal down the road. But we're going to have to find a place that's right in between both locations because we're up in north and south just to make it work. So that's the ultimate goal.
Like off of Scottsdale or Hayden or something? Or
I think
or a little more closer to Phoenix so the real estate's less expensive.
Well, that would be good. It might be a little far. So one of them's up in North Scottsdale and one of them's in Old Town. So maybe like 101 in Cactus or 101 in Shea. Like that would be a good area there. Still North Scottsdale, but the Old Town people would still come.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at.
What's stopping you?
Just the market right now, having somebody to invest with me. I have one client that wants to help out with it and just finding the right location. Mm-hmm. We had one that seemed ideal and then it just went downhill. Like the guy was bankrupt and the city ended up taking the building and he wasn't being honest with us about a lot of things. But I know, just be patient. The right time will come.
Yeah. Well, you got to be creative too, because So right now there's a lot of property that isn't being leased. You go on these plazas and they're, every other store's vacant.
Mm-hmm.
We see it everywhere, right? Those are the ones you want to look at.
Yep.
So sometimes you have to make an adjustment and shift, 1 degree and say, okay, how can I, because the goal is to get into the space in the area, right? The right amount of space. And everyone always wants everything to be perfect. But it doesn't always have to be perfect.
Yep.
Right? So the goal is to get going. You know what I mean? So if you wait for perfection, it's never going to come and you're going to hold yourself back.
Yep.
So
I need to remember that and just jump on it. I mean, we can always...
Dude, I can help you with some stuff. I mean, I'm not the best dude around. I'm definitely not the fittest. But I know a little bit about business. We've been doing it since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
We've, the last 5 years we have had over 100 employees each year.
Yep. That's awesome, man.
It totally can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's cool, like watching young up and comers just grow, learn, thrive, work hard, and get kicked and come back up. And because that's me, you know what I mean? I'm not as young as you anymore, but I was doing the same thing. I started when I was 28.
Yep.
So and I know it's hard. It's freaking hard. Some people don't want to help you. You think they do, and they backstab you.
Yeah, that's happened too. So
and then people that do want to help you, they don't have the resources.
Yep.
The closest people, like, I got your back, and they do, but there's only so much they can do. Right. So, I love it, dude. I love, just keep the drive, So I got a few questions, fitness questions.
Okay.
Because, hopefully the audience wants to learn about fitness.
Yeah.
I know I do. That's why we got the questions.
All right.
So to you, why is fitness so important?
Fitness is important because, it can change your life for the better. If anything, that's the ultimate goal is just longevity. Like I said, we're not getting any younger, so why not start working on your health and working on your fitness, and it's so fun when you start making changes and then you get obsessed with something like fitness because it's just going to change your life and for the better and just make you feel better overall.
Yeah. I agree with you. My problem is, and I think this is a problem for a lot of people. I'll say, hey, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to do it for like a month or two and I'm done. Then it's like 7 months later, a month or two and I'm done. And there's like no results.
Yep.
Absolutely none. Right. So we just built a house. I put a gym in the house.
He told me.
I literally put a gym in the house.
We got to get him a plan going.
Dude, I started and then my back did kind of screw up, but I'm the guy. 2 months, 7 months off.
Yep.
2 months on, and there's no results.
Yep.
I don't even look in the mirror because there's no muscle growing. I'm not gaining muscle.
Yep.
There's no gains here.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how, even if you're just doing 3 days a week, I tell everyone start out with 30 minutes a day. And not only is it going to build discipline and make you in better shape, but even as a business owner, you're going to have more energy, you're going to be more disciplined. So it's not just fitness, it's a lifestyle change.
I want to just inject that discipline into my life, you know, because when I was young, yeah, everyone worked out, and I was in boxing and I did work out pretty good, but you know, heavy on drugs, changed my life, kids, and I never got back into it. I never got that groove. Every house I've had, everywhere I've lived, I've always had weights, punching bag, everything, and I've done them, but I've never, for the last 18 years, probably been consistent.
Just making it a priority, you know. Like I can have you in shape in, you know, a couple months.
Dude, let's do it.
Like, let's do it, man. I want to.
Oh my God, I need to drop like 30, 50 really, but like 30 pounds easy.
And you could be a great testimonial for me. I mean, your before and after, it'll be awesome.
And I want the longevity. I want to be healthy. You know, my kids they're obviously getting older, but I don't want to be like the old dude, you know, 60, 70, that just can't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of those.
Yeah, and that'd be my worst fear. I mean, my grandpa's like 71, and he was always the one playing basketball with me, working out with me. But once he had his back surgeries, his knee surgeries, he kind of just fell off, and he would not go to PT. Like when you're out in the country, I mean, it doesn't have to be out in the country. It could be here. They just kind of give up. And now he can't barely walk without his walker, and he's not even that old. So
and your muscles, what is it called? Not deteriorate, but not petrify.
They'll just start basically locking up. A lot of
there's
them.
a word I can't think of the dang word, but yeah, you're basically shriveling up. And your brain too. Like besides your brain, and
if you're not moving, it's horrible for you.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of people that get older, when they stop being active, they die. You know, because their body's shutting down, and it's crazy. But yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
No, me neither.
You know, I don't want anybody to be that guy or woman.
No.
You know? Okay, what's better, eating healthy or exercising?
We touched on this on the other podcast. I would say definitely eating healthy. So, I mean, there is a small percentage of people that could eat like crap and work out and have good genetics. Like I could eat, let's say, pizza or McDonald's every day, still work out, maybe have a six-pack and look decent, but inside I wouldn't be healthy. You know, I would have cholesterol issues, blood pressure issues, but 99% of, let's say, Americans or the population, if they eat like crap every day, we're talking fast food, Burger King, McDonald's, they're not going to be able to out-train that bad diet. You know, some of them might be skinny or somewhat lean, but they're going to be in risk of a heart attack or stroke, you know, within a few years. It's just not sustainable.
Well, that makes sense because, like, when you look at, especially in the other side of the world, specifically like Asians and stuff like that, they eat better than us. They're not fitter than us, but they live better, like healthier lives.
Yeah, they eat cleaner. And even if you're in Europe, if you're going out to have pasta in Italy, there's not all these preservatives in it. Like I went to Italy for almost 2 weeks, never felt bloated from pasta, never had a stomach ache. I come back here and go have one plate of pasta. I'm literally going to the bathroom.
You're done.
Feel like shit.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah, because I don't understand how that even happened. Why the U.S. is full of all this, and the other side of the world isn't.
Like they're trying to kill us with all these preservative ingredients.
At us. They're like, keep eating it, fat boys.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. That's why everybody's so out of shape here.
No, it's true. And like you said, issues, body issues. You know, cancer, heart failure. You know, like all these different things. You know, I met somebody the other day and they had like 4 surgeries on his heart, like crazy stuff. And it was like ticking, and you can hear all this stuff like making noise all over. I'm like, holy Jesus,
dude, you know, that's crazy.
And dude was like I think under 40.
Oh man.
I just found this out. Like I know the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, holy crap.
Like I know some stuff's hereditary, but if you're like that, you are not living a healthy lifestyle. Like something's off if he's like that under 40. It just doesn't make sense.
Ticking.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so let's see what else we got. Okay, so if you're eating, so to the listener, and they say, hey, I've heard this a lot too. You can have a cheat day. A weekend. Well, like, what do you believe? Like, do you believe in that, or how does that look for you?
Okay, so when I design clients' programs, if they're doing pretty good, I always give someone a refeed or a cheat meal, but this is supposed to be a meal, not a cheat day. So they'll always have one.
So this is like one time a day, not the whole day.
Yeah, on the weekends. And then sometimes they'll have 2 refeeds, and maybe one Wednesday, a little cleaner, one on Saturday. But you want to make this a meal and make it fit within a certain amount of calories. So if I have you doing dinner Saturday night with your wife, I might say have 2,000 calories of a cheat meal, which that's a pretty big cheat meal. You know, you could have burgers, pizza, whatever, maybe have a cocktail. So it's all in like moderation. That's how you have to do it.
So you said refeed. Is that the same thing as cheat?
It's like having a cleaner cheat meal. They just call it like a refeed, because normally if you're on like a perfect nutrition plan and you have a refeed, it actually helps you because it speeds up your metabolism, because your body's trying to burn off all the bad calories and all the bad fat from like the burgers.
Did you say refeed or feed?
Refeed.
So REFEED?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like when I go and have a refeed or a cheat meal, my metabolism runs so high, I'm automatically just sweating at the table, because that's how my body works. It's trying to burn off.
So it's pumping it out. It's like, get this out of me.
Yeah, immediately.
Dude.
So that's where you want to be.
Mine is like they're storing on each side of me. It's terrible.
Well, we'll fix it.
No, please, dude. Yeah, I need the help. So the cheat meals. What else we got? So, you know, your business, your fitness. You want to open the gym. You know, you're helping people. Like, you're changing people's lives, dude. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. You're changing people's lives. You know, some people motivate, some people do different things, but like, you're doing something good. And I've heard you talk about God. Like, does that, are you Christian? Is that how, you know, what does that look like?
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and I've been getting more serious into it. Probably the last year I got rebaptized in 2018. So that was a good feeling, you know, just getting really back into my faith. And then the last year I started getting back into church a lot, like going almost every week. And now my girlfriend, she has been like such a blessing, because she is a really big Christian, and we've been going every week consistently together. I mean, we'll read Bible verses and we're just growing together, you know? So I love that.
You love it. It's I tell people, like, it works for me. You know, some people are like, well, you know, you go to church and this and that, and we work in a church. Like, I married a pastor's daughter, and my pastors are my in-laws. Yeah. Right. And so, but it works for me, and it sounds like it works for you.
Definitely.
You know, are you guys like, do you do like go to like different teachings or different groups or anything like that? Or?
So we just switched to a new church, Trinity in Scottsdale. It's really good, and they have different group classes, and they even have a men's class for just men on Tuesday. So we want to get into that and volunteer. So it's in the making right now. Yeah. But I mean, I feel really good lately, and I have my faith, and you know, through all these crazy times, I know no matter what's going on, like, we're gonna get through it, you know, and things could always be a lot worse. I mean, look at what's going on overseas right now. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, God bless all these people, and we're lucky just to be here and be safe right now.
Yeah. We say, like if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Yes. And then so when I tell people, they're like, well, why do you believe in God? Blah, blah. I go, because I stand for something. You know, I want to believe for something good and something great. And if you don't, then you're going to fall victim to something. Yep. You know, you're either like the people that I have met, especially younger, like under 50, that say they don't believe in God or something, there's some character traits about them that start to show. Yep. People who, in my opinion, believe in God, and it doesn't matter if you're a Muslim or a Mormon or what. If you believe in God, you believe in God. You're trying to do your best. Yes. And your best is like the best for for the dude next to you. Like, you know, yeah, he could suck. Yeah, you can wipe him. You can win him, you know, beat him, and you want to compete against him. But you still don't want anything bad to happen, and you don't want to steal from him. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you want him to win. I'm going to win. You're going to win. Why do I have to steal from you? Yep. People, I really believe, like, people that don't stand for stuff, like, allow those little things to creep in. You know what I mean? And so that's why I, like, that's where my stance is like, okay, it's better for my children. Yep. You know, I had took custody of my kids, and I was a single dad at one point, and my older children. And the first thing I did was get into church, because I was like, I don't want any, like, and because some of my family members were hating on me. I was quitting the drugs and stopped drinking, all that stuff. And they're like, you know, why are you going to church? And that church is different and all this stuff. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, I need to give them something good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stopped drinking beer. I haven't had, my kids have never seen, they've seen me have me like maybe one mixed drink or glass of wine. They've never seen me open a can of beer or have a 6-pack in a fridge. Not that I hide it.
It's amazing, man.
They just never seen it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, I want to give them something where they don't have to grow up and want that.
Yeah. I mean, you're being a great mentor to them.
You know, so because I grew up and I wanted those things because it was right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the pills were in front of you. You wanted them.
For sure.
You put them right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm, I'll take them.
So, dude, I'm glad that you're living your best life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're working in the business. You're growing the business. You know, you're coming up, dude. Like,
yep. I'm in a good spot right now. I'm super thankful. You know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm focused and, you know I'm going in the right direction. And I'm not rich yet, but I'm happy. And, you know.
Dude, you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
You're healthy,
yep.
number one. And you're happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing what you love, whether it makes you more money or not more money. I think it will make you more money.
Yep.
But you love it, so you're happy. You know,
I wake up every day happy. I mean, I'm super disciplined to get up at 4 a.m. every day. And, you know, I might be a little tired, but I literally go into work just loving what I do. And, you know, I get to travel the world a little bit. I usually do one trip to Europe or out of the country once a year, you know.
Nice,
and
nice.
It's kind of fun sharing this career with, you know, your better half. So we both train. So it's pretty cool.
Just keep, you know, my advice to you is, besides any other advice you would want to ask me, but is keep sowing seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Keep giving. Just keep giving. It's the biggest thing I tell everyone. Just sow seeds, plant those seeds. You know, there's a pastor named Tim Story. He says, plow, plant, water, harvest. You till that ground, you plow it, and you plant those seeds, and you water them, and you watch the harvest grow. You know, and sometimes when we plant the seeds, someone else waters them. The harvest still grows.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're watering the seed that's already planted. The harvest still grows. You know, and when the harvest grows, everybody reaps.
Yep.
That's because we give. You know what I mean? So keep giving. You know, don't ever think like, you know, when you start making money or you want money, depending on who you're around, they want, you know, they'll want you to be like, no, don't, you know, charge no matter what and do this no matter what and that no matter what. And at some point you will. But as you're growing, give.
Yep. I just want to be, my main goal right now is just to be a good person, just to help out as much as I can. And I've always been the guy that looks at the janitor the same as the CEO or treats them the same. Like if you know me, like anybody that knows me, I treat everybody equal, and you never know what someone's going through. Like one nice gesture can change their life, change their day, you know. And we're putting together a program for Christmas. We're going to go feed the homeless. So me and the other Corey from Corma's Meals, it's my meal prep sponsor, we're going to go feed the homeless. So
we do it all the time, bro.
Oh, well, I'm down to,
we do it
to join.
Every other week we do it.
I'll come help out.
We set up a whole ministry that's outreach ministry. So we'll go to certain parks. We'll go downtown to the Zone, or not the Zone. Is it called the Zone? But downtown, I think it's the Zone, where they're all at.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to homeless camps. We'll go to, and then the fun ones are like Feed My Starving Children, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do food drives. We'll do clothing drives, shoe drives, all that stuff, bro. We do all of it.
Yeah, I would love to come help out.
Yeah, so if you don't know what to do, like just get involved with what we're doing.
Yeah,
you know, you can come once in a while or whatever. You
okay.
know, no strings attached. But dude, I'm glad you came on the show.
Yep.
Super honored to have met you. You know, I think we'll build a relationship. I think you're gonna help me, hopefully.
Yeah, man. I want to train you and help you get in shape.
I'm in North Phoenix though, so we got to figure out some solution.
Well, I'm almost in North Phoenix. I'm up off a little further, but I'm Union Hills and Tatum. But I'm still not that far. So if I have openings on a break or on the weekend or whatever, just a couple of times a week, I think you can make some big changes. Yeah.
All right. So last thing is, what would you say to that young up and comer? You know, what's that piece of advice you'd give to them?
Just stay focused, stay disciplined. I always say you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, you're going to get in uncomfortable situations, and once you can kind of get your head around that, you know, the sky's the limits.
There it is, guys. Be comfortable, be non-comfortable. Corey Upton, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.